Hot girls seem to be trademarking community phrases quite a lot. Hot girl walk, hot girls read, both of those phrases existed in the internet slang for a pretty long time until somebody decided to capitalize on them. Not to mention that both of those phrases derive from Megan Thee Stallion's song. If you remember it, at first, after it went viral, we had a hot girl summer, and then a hot girl everything. Hot girls have tummy issues, hot girls wear sunscreen, hot girls don't gatekeep. It got to a point where I was personally a little tired of hot girls everything. You know, every issue, every simplest action was rebranded as something hot girls do. And no hate, because it was fun. I just feel like the internet overused it so much, I started skipping every video with that phrase. But I never suspected that something that is so commonly said and so often used could be trademarked. But hey, I was wrong, because two girls decided to profit off all of that and they trademarked Hot Girls Read and Hot Girl Walk. Let's start from Hot Girl Walk because it was the first trademark that was registered. So let's hear it from the trademark owner, Mia.
I created the Hot Girl Walk, and one question I get all the time is, did you invent walking, or do you think you did? So let's talk about what it's like to create a viral phenomenon.
Now, I'm not sure if Mia is actually the first person who coined this term hot girl walk, and there is really no way for me to verify that. I mean, she claims she was the first one who posted a TikTok with like this caption, but there's no way for me to verify that because like so many TikToks have been posted since with hot girl walk. Like there is no way to get down to the root of like where it all started.
I've said this story a million times on my page, but I created the Hot Girl Walk when I was at a very low point in my life. It was COVID. I was going through a lot. At the time, there was a huge stigma surrounding walking. Nobody was walking for fitness or for fun.
Mia likes to take credit for a lot of things, but you do have to admit that this part is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know what world she lived in where walking didn't exist as a form of fitness or fun. Like, it's probably the most basic and commonly known versions of fitness.
It was COVID, and so walking only existed as like the post-dinner thing that your mom made you do.
I'm really not sure how to comment on this, but if someone is taking credit for creating walking as a form of fitness, I'm not surprised that they are also copyright striking people for using a common phrase. But don't worry, we'll get to that.
And it sounds so dumb looking back on it, but people were not really walking for fitness like that.
It may sound dumb because it actually is dumb. Like, obviously, people were walking for fitness before the hot girl walk.
So when I was looking for ways to deal with stress, I was pointed a lot to running, but I just simply could not get into running. And then I realized, doing a lot of research, that walking actually had a lot of health benefits. And then I realized the thing that was holding people back from going on long walks, and that was, well, what do you do when you're alone with your thoughts?
I really can't tell how much of this video is satire, because when I first watched it, I really thought that she is making a joke at the beginning, saying that she like created walking as a form of fitness. Like, I genuinely thought this was just a hook and she was joking. But like, the more times I watch this video, the more I think she actually thinks that. Like, she is convinced that people weren't walking for fitness before her.
So I created a 3-step methodology to think about first the things you're grateful for, next your goals that you have achieved and that you want to achieve, and after all of that, you have a mix of dopamine and endorphins pumping through your veins. And I always say you think about how hot you are, but it's really this confidence and dopamine burst that you get after doing those things. I jokingly started calling these my hot girl walks. It was what my parents knew them to be as, and my friends. And I shared this with my sorority sisters who were doing them all the time during COVID at their homes. They were the ones who encouraged me to post about this on TikTok. And before I did a little quick Google search to see if anything like this existed, anything, the word hot girl walk, anything like that. And there was nothing like it.
I'm pretty sure that by the time COVID hit, everything on the internet was like hot girl coded. Because Megan's song released in August of 2019, so by 2020, I feel like you could find every version of hot girl something on the internet. Now, I'm really not sure about the phrase hot girl walk specifically. As I told you, I have no way of verifying whether she was actually the first person ever to post about it. But I do find it a little bit, I don't know, hypocritical. I'm not sure if that's a good word, that she talks about it as if she invented it, where the fact that it went viral can be mostly contributed to Megan, right? Because her song went viral, and that's why everything hot girl coded was also going viral, and she doesn't even mention Megan in this story. Like, I'm sure if she googled at the time hot girl walk, maybe she didn't find anything about hot girl walks specifically, but she definitely found a lot of other like hot girl coded things, you know what I mean? And she doesn't mention it at all. She contributes all of that to herself, when I would say it's mostly Megan's contribution. And maybe she had good intentions, right? Maybe she wanted to create something to help women with their like fitness and with their health in general. I'm not saying that the entire idea behind a hot girl walk is flawed. I'm just saying that claiming to be the first person who ever coined a hot girl something is very hypocritical. Like the fact that she doesn't even mention Megan's song, or the fact that literally everything on the internet was about hot girls. It sounds so weird when I say it like this, but you know, that's the truth. She doesn't really mention it at all and kind of attributes all of it to herself, and that's just not what happened.
So I posted about this on TikTok and it totally blew up. And because I created the Hawker Walk, I trademarked it too. This way I can keep control over the mission of the Hawker Walk, which is to keep fitness accessible and inclusive. We host Hawker Walks around the world. Head to our Instagram at Hawker Walk to learn more. And happy Hawker Walking!
It's honestly giving I trademarked a common phrase just so I could be the only one making money of it. I'm sorry, that's all I'm really seeing in this video. It's not genuine. It's not like a true story of what happened, because she missed, as I said, a big point, which is that hot girl everything was going viral at the time. But okay, maybe she had good intentions at the time, but just trying to say that you made it and you popularized it when nobody really knew you until like this whole drama with the trademark started happening is very hypocritical, and I don't think she's being genuine in what she's saying. So this all happened during COVID, so a pretty long time ago, but recently a girl on TikTok posted this.
Legally, I'm not supposed to say this is a hot girl walk.
I don't know if you know this, but Hot Girl Walk is trademarked, so you're not allowed to use it. I personally didn't know that, so when I wanted to host the Hot Girl Walk event, they told me to take it down immediately. So instead, this is a high-temperatured woman walk, which got the message across and in my opinion was a lot better.
So this is Regan, if I'm not mistaken, and she basically organizes free walks in her community. And she got a cease and desist. I think it's a cease and desist. I don't know if like legally it could be categorized as that, but something similar to a cease and desist, saying that she cannot call her walk a hot girl walk because it's trademarked, right? So she called it the High Temperature Women Walk, and honestly, I love how petty that is. Anyway, Mia saw that video and left the following comment. "This is so shady for no reason, lol. I actually coined the phrase hot girl walk, rights reserved, and filed for a trademark shortly after posting my first video, and I host events all around the world for free for women. Rather than reaching out to us to maybe collab or do research before infringing on my brand, you posted this video which is not in fact giving women supporting women." What's also not giving women supporting women is taking a phrase popularized by a black creator, trademarking some form of it, and like never mentioning Megan in your story about how you coined this phrase. Because let's not kid ourselves, if it wasn't for Hot Girl Summer, the Hot Girl Walk would never exist. Mia wasn't the one who popularized this phrase, it was Megan, and Mia just profited off her work. And then when she's telling the story of how she coined this term, she never once mentions Megan. Now I know, legally speaking, Mia is in the right, but whether it was a good idea or an ethical idea to trademark it in the first place is just another question. Anyway, Regan responded to this comment and said this.
So this is Mia, the woman who trademarked and copyrighted Hot Girl Walk, and I don't know at what point my video seemed kind of shady. Maybe it was in the beginning where I said that legally I'm not supposed to call it a Hot Girl Walk, which is true. I'm not, because you would come for me, and all the girls that were there knew, because I started off as Hot Girl Walk, all the girls that came there knew it was a Hot Girl Walk to begin with. So I wasn't going to continue saying this was a Hot Girl Walk. I had to let them know that I'm changing the name and I can't use it anymore. The other shady thing I would probably think in the video was that I said that the name was better. I mean, if I think the name that I choose is better, that's a personal opinion. I don't think it was shady at all. Like I said, this video was not coming for you at all. It was just a video that straight went to, hey, I can't use this, so I'm turning it into something else. If it's shade, if it came off as shade, I apologize, because that's not what I intended to.
To be fair, I do think it was a little bit shady to call it a high temperature women walk or whatever it was. But it was shady in like such a funny way, and I totally support it in this instance. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not really a huge fan of somebody who decides to trademark a pretty commonly used phrase. And then when their copyright is infringed, instead of sending a simple DM being like, hey girl, sorry, but this is trademarked, like maybe you could change the name of your walk, Mia literally sent this like official looking email that was probably written by a lawyer. It was probably a cease and desist. And if you really want people to treat you like a girl's girl, you first have to be one yourself. And that wasn't very girl's girl behavior, because you could have just sent her a DM and you also could have reached out to her. Like, I know she has the copyright and everything, so she is allowed to send that official email, like I'm aware of it, but it doesn't mean you have to do that. And now Mia is mad at Regan that Regan brought it to TikTok and is being shady or whatever, when Mia started not being, I don't know if Mia was really shady, but she just wasn't okay, like her behavior wasn't the best in this situation. So if you want to call someone out for doing something like this, maybe you should first rethink your own behavior in this situation.
Like, are you in your right to legally copyright, trademark whatever you want as long as it's available and you can? Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but two things can be true at the same time. If you can do that, I have every right to also express my frustration and express that, like, hey, like, I personally don't think it should be trademarked, but you know, it is what it is. And I do support women businesses, and if I didn't, like, I would have, like, I didn't even direct traffic or hate towards you, like, but I think I can also be frustrated and express my frustration too, you know? Like,
I definitely don't think that Regan sent any hate towards Mia, because I wouldn't even know that Mia is the one who trademarked Hot Girl Walk if it wasn't for Mia's comment under that video. Like, Regan never mentioned her name, she just said that she cannot use the term Hot Girl Walk because it's trademarked. Like, that's it.
I didn't know who you were. I wasn't throwing hate. I wasn't saying, oh, go bash them, go do negative. Like, I wasn't directing any type of hate towards you. So, like, I think if shade was, like, the worst thing I could have done, I feel like, I don't know, that's better. I don't know. Like, this video was literally about, like, my experience learning about trademark and finding that out and turning something that happened into something better, in my opinion, like, for making the best out of what situation you're in. But if you took it as shade, I'm sorry you took it as shade. I'm sorry if I threw shade at you. It wasn't my intention, but I think I can also express my frustration as well.
Literally nobody knew that this phrase was trademarked because it was so commonly used on the internet. It would have never crossed my mind that someone trademarked it and tried to make a business out of it. So I'm not surprised Regan didn't know either. Like, she probably thought it's just like some internet thing. And that's it. Mia is shoving her personal brand down our throats because none of us knew that she had one to begin with. And instead of trying to win people over with good marketing, interesting TikToks or whatever, she is sending cease and desists to people, and I don't think that's attracting anyone to her business. And maybe Mia's walks are free. Like, I'm not sure about it because I saw a lot of people in the comments saying that they aren't in fact free, but if you go to her website, then it shows that all the walks are free, so I am going to give her the benefit of the doubt that the walks, the events are actually free. However, she does have a book published and she sells some, in my opinion, very overpriced merch, so it's not like she's not making money off it. Another thing that Mia has is Spotify playlists, and she apparently really doesn't like it when people make a playlist with that phrase, with the hot girl walk.
So my playlist called Hot Girl Walk got taken down by Spotify because Mia Lind, who's the creator of Hot Girl Walk, said that I was infringing on her trademark.
Now, this is a little bit crazy to me because I would never think that you can break copyright law by having a Spotify playlist with a certain title. Like, it would never cross my mind that a title can be seen as something that infringes on copyright law. I'm learning a lot while making this video.
I just want to start off by saying I genuinely had no idea that this was a trademarked thing. I thought saying Hot Girl Walk was just a trend on social media. I thought that Hot Girl Anything was just Meg Thee Stallion. So I genuinely had no idea when I made the playlist. I just made a playlist.
Don't worry, we all did. We all thought it was just a Meg Thee Stallion thing because no one's heard of Mia until now.
I obviously appealed it because the reason I create playlists is because I'm an independent artist, and years ago I had major labels telling me that I needed bigger numbers. So this was just my way of trying to promote myself. I did hear back from Spotify yesterday. However, I decided to change the name of the playlist to Hot Girl Strut because I don't want any kind of issues.
I love the name changes. It's so petty, but in such a satisfying way. You know what I mean? Like, I love seeing a hot girl strut.
Also, this was Spotify's response, so I clearly don't want to change it back to Hot Girl Walk because she could come for me again. I genuinely have no idea. Also, Mia, this could have been a DM. This could have been an email. You could have just asked me to change the title of the playlist because not only have you now affected me, but you've also affected the independent artists that I put in my profile. And I know that in your world, you probably think that everyone knows who you are, but I'm telling you that we don't.
Again, it's not a giving women supporting women, and as she said, this could have been a DM. This could have been made so much simpler and less stressful for her. And I agree that none of us knew about Mia because I think to everybody, or at the very least to me, the phrase hot girl walk, if it was associated with anyone, that would have been Meg Thee Stallion. I would have never thought that a hot girl walk has some girl Mia attached to it. That's why, again, I'm even more surprised that Mia managed to trademark it because in my mind, it's just like so closely associated with Meg's brand that I'm surprised she was like able to do that in the first place. But as I said, I'm learning a lot about trademarks and copyright law today. A bunch of other women also came online and said that Mia sent them cease and desist for like different things. But I just showed you those two examples because I think they best illustrate the situation and Mia's character as well. But I think the only reason this whole drama started right now is because not that long ago, a girl called Ali Rose trademarked the phrase hot girls read. And as you can imagine, BookTok really didn't like it. Again, the phrase hot girls read isn't really like that new. I saw people in some comments saying that they were using stickers that said hot girls read on MySpace, so obviously a long time ago. And again, I think Meg brought some like extra popularity to this phrase. So Ali Rose, the girl who trademarked Hot Girls Read, is a creator on BookTok, and on June 3rd, she posted this on her Instagram. Hot Girls Read, TM, is officially ours. 3-ish years ago, after I started reading more consistently and finally started to love to read, I put Hot Girls Read on some bookmarks and crews, and the rest is freaking history. In the least corny way possible, that little phrase changed my life and changed the entire course of my business in a way I never saw coming. I love that because of those 3 words, a lot of you found me, and I love talking about books with you. This trademark is for the freaking girls. This is absolutely ridiculous. So, first of all, she admits that she joined the community in 2023 and this phrase was coined and used long before that. Second of all, it was used by small businesses and Etsy sellers and all of the stuff long before not Mia, I wanted to say Mia, long before Ali even became part of BookTok community. I would say that Hot Girls Read is probably the most common phrase when it comes to book related merch targeted at women. It's always been everywhere, I fear. Anyway, later Ali also posted this to her Instagram story. This is celebratory, of course, but I also want to, very gently with peace and love, say that I officially have the trademark for Hot Girls Read in the following categories: bookmarks, stickers, notebooks, notepads, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hooded sweatshirts. I've seen Hot Girls Read on lots of items from other businesses that follow me, so if that is you, please remove those listings from your site as soon as possible. With love. And after that, some people were saying that Mia was messaging them on Etsy, I think, telling them to take down their merch with Hot Girls Read. But later, Ali said that it wasn't actually her, it must have been someone else. So I don't know, let's give her again the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she didn't message anyone on Etsy, but she definitely asked people in her Insta story to remove their listings. Her decision to trademark this phrase and try to stop other businesses from using it sparked a huge backlash on BookTok. Primarily because this term was used long before Ali even joined the BookTok community. And this is, in my opinion, Megan's song again kind of gave this phrase a bit of a renaissance, but a lot of people are saying that they've been using this phrase for long before Megan's song even. So it's not like with Mia, who was at the very least the first one to organize an event which was called a Hot Girl Walk. Ali actually took something that people have been using and also selling for a very long time and trademarked it so that she could be the only one making money off it. And an interesting thing that I found about Ali is that she likes to get, generally speaking, inspired by other people's work. Now, what I mentioned next might not be illegal. It might not infringe on any copyright laws. But I do think it's a little sketchy in this whole situation. So Ali makes bookmarks, right? This is her main business, I would say. And what she does quite often with her designs is that she makes them look basically like Pantone's color palettes. The design is basically identical. And then she takes titles of books she didn't write, and she puts them on those bookmarks as well. And then she posts Instagram pictures with those books in the background next to those bookmarks. And in my opinion, it does kind of look as if the authors of those books were endorsing her bookmarks. Maybe there was some collab or something like this. If I didn't know about Ali in general, I would suspect that this is a collaboration with the author, which again, maybe it is not illegal, but it is very sketchy that she uses. I think that a book title is also probably trademarked. I would guess. I'm not sure, but I would guess. So if she's doing this, it's also, not the best business practices at the very least. Anyways, the backlash that Ali got was so intense that she actually decided to cancel this trademark, and this is what she had to say about the whole situation.
Hi, I want to talk about my trademark. First and foremost, the trademark is being surrendered. It is in the process of being filed right now to be abandoned. I want to say that it does take time for that to go through, so it's not going to show up automatically, but the paperwork has already been filed. But more importantly, I want to say I'm so sorry to every small business that I harmed in doing this. The decision was made more as a business strategy decision than a human being decision. And I take full accountability for that. That was entirely wrong on my end. I hear you, and I take that on the chin 100%. I want to clear up Within the last week, I've seen a lot of screenshots and messages from people saying that I sent them a cease and desist, or I sent them a message on Etsy to remove any Hot Girls Read items. I want to say none of those came from me, because that was not my intent. I have not sent any of that since all of this started. As for the Hot Girls Read apparel that I have on the shelves, it is currently up on my site with all profits being donated to 2 different charities, Room to Read and Read and Feed, which I also have linked in my bio. And I just want to say once again, I'm so sorry. This is my way of trying to right my wrongs that I do understand should not have been wrongs in the first place. And at the end of the day, I care most about community over anything when it comes to my business.
What Ali did, I think, was the right thing to do in this situation. She heard the community's outrage and decided to act as best as she can to fix this situation. And this is the difference between Ali and Mia, because Ali at the very least listened to the community and decided to abandon the trademark. To be fair, she probably also did it partly because she knew she wouldn't sell anything after this whole drama, but nonetheless she did the right thing. Like, she listened to people and she tried to mend the situation. Now, Mia, on the other hand, still probably hasn't figured out why people are even mad at her in the first place that she has this trademark, because the problem isn't that she is using her copyright right to like stop other people from using what she has trademarked. It's that she trademarked it in the first place, and in my opinion it's also that when she tells the story of how she like coined this term and everything, she completely like never mentions Megan once. Both Ali and Mia seem to be very hypocritical in their actions. Mia says it's not very women empowering women to call her out for doing something that people, disagree with, while the reason why her hot girl walk got popular was because of another woman's work, and I think it's not very women empowering women to profit off that without crediting Meg in any way. And Ali posted in her Insta story, maybe she didn't, message anyone on Etsy, maybe she didn't send any cease and desist, but at the very least she posted on her Insta story asking people to stop selling merch with a phrase that she didn't coin or popularize to begin with. And I think there is a lesson to be learned here. Just because the law allows us to do something doesn't mean we should do this. And if you decide to trademark a community phrase, you better be ready to hear from that community. Because surprise, surprise, people don't really like it when you take a phrase that is popular in a certain subculture and you try to capitalize of it. And people also aren't going to support a business like this, even when it's run by a woman. I also think people generally apply harsher rules to small businesses than they do to like huge companies. And I think that is because major corporations have so much power over us that we literally cannot do anything to stop them from doing something we don't like. And people are striving to support ethical businesses. That's why we are criticizing small business owners to do better, because we want to spend our money in an ethical way. We are just running out of ways to do so. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, and if you don't know what to watch next, check out this video of mine. Obviously, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye!